Okay. So I don't really know how to start this. But as someone who has really like tried my best to give my all to this industry every single day, I cannot believe this was a real thing. I cannot believe it was published. So we start with the author. This is Eitan Reshef. For some reason, he was a guest columnist at the Oklahoman, right? And the outlet would delete his article, but we still have access to said article. Its title, Like Thunder, as in Oklahoma City Thunder, Israel is an underdog that has become native. Oh my God. All right. Where to begin? Let's just pump the brakes and take a brief pause to really, really think about this title, okay? First, from an NBA standpoint, the odds to win the NBA championship prior to the season starting, the Oklahoma City Thunder. As of this taping, who is favored to win? And yet, in the Middle East, the most moral army is backed by the world's largest and strongest superpower militarily, and it ain't even close. Already, we are off to a terrible start. And Israel is not and has not and will not ever be viewed as an underdog, especially when said underdog says this of the United States of America.
שהמחיר יהיה כבד מנשוא, כרגע המחיר לא כבד מנשוא. התקפה רבת היקף ברשות הפלסטינית. תמיד הרי פחד שהכל מתמוטט. לא פוחדים, צחקים להם, יראו לנו לתוך הישב פה בצחוק ופשוט הם לא פוחדים לצחוק. זה מה שמביא אותם ואז רגע, אבל אז שוב העולם יגיד מה, אתם כובשים? אתה לא מפחד מהעולם, ביבי. במיוחד היום עם אמריקה, אני יודע מה זה אמריקה. אמריקה זה לא שאפשר להזיז אותו בקלות, להזיז לכיוון הנכון. אבל לא יכניעו לנו.
אז שאני אנחנו עושים לזה משהו, אז הם...
יש כאלה, אז נניח שהם אומרים משהו. אז אמרו, 80% מהאמריקאים תומכים בנו. זה אבסורד. לא פחדתי להתאבד שם. לא פחדתי להתאבד עם קריטון. לא פחדתי להתאבד עם אופן. מה היו הסכמי אוסלו? הסכמי אוסלו שהכנסת חתמה עליהם. שאלו אותי לפני הבחירות התקיים. כן, בתנאי כפוף להדדיות וצמצום הנסיבות. אבל איך הם צמצום את הנסיבות?
Again, terrible start, but there's going to be some gems in here, I promise. It's NBA playoff season, and once again, as fans are glued to their televisions, there is something strangely familiar, a brew between the online keyboard warriors. Oh, he's going for it. And the voices of punditry as they respond to the continued dominance of OKC, a young, disciplined, strategically crafted organization, impeccably drafted and relentlessly adherent to a culture of selflessness and community, suddenly find itself resented. No. No, not resented. The greater the Thunder's success becomes, the more critics seem determined to diminish it or even root for its demise. As both a fiercely proud Oklahoman and a Jew, the parallels between the Thunder and the nation of Israel are difficult to ignore. Neither was supposed to become what it is. Oh, buddy. I am baffled. First off, any true basketball purist, anybody who is a fan of watching the NBA, they do not resent OKC. It's not like they have had a Tom Brady New England Patriots-esque run with Super Bowl trophy after Super Bowl trophy, up more Lombardis. No. They are not resented. The only resentment I have seen for this entire team is that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander reminds everybody of what James Harden was circa 2017, where he just goads the refs into blowing the whistle, and he tries to get to the line a lot. I'll put it like that. I know Jen Welch had some comments about Shai and the refs. It is what it is. That is the only resentment I have seen from basketball fans. They do not hate Jalen Williams. They do not hate the Dortcher Chamber, Lou Dort. They do not hate Alex Caruso. Plays his behind off. I mean, the only reason people are starting to dislike Chet is because they like Wemby more than Chet. Is there going to be a Wemby reference in this article? Who knows? But I like Isaiah Hartenstein. Oh yeah, people despise him totally. We are grasping at straws. OKC is not resented. Some people don't like watching them play. It doesn't mean they resent the team. And this also comes with success. We saw it with the Golden State Warriors, where people just didn't want to see them win anymore. But yet, ironically, as I have seen as the objective party, when they call for parity, now they hate it and they want a team to reel off some sort of dynasty. So I also think this is an imbalance of consistency. Nonetheless, to relate this to the state of Israel is immensely stupid. And what he will do in this entire article is see the elephant in the room and not call it out one time. Did he at one point talk of genocide? No, of course not. I mean, neither was supposed to become what it is. No, they are exactly who they were meant to become. OKC put in the time and effort. And Sam Presti had some swings and misses along the way. But he saw how critical drafting was. Which, by the way, let me make sure I could show this. Where's my pin? There it is. I've been calling for this team to do that for, I don't know, post-Derek injury a long time. I'll just leave it down. They couldn't do it. Chicago. They couldn't do it. They wouldn't do it. They refused. I digress. Israel, by the way, they are who we thought they were. When you have this much support from not even just the United States, I mean, Canada, France, the entire West is in the throes of propping up Israel. So I don't see it. I don't see it. There's a lot more. Reaching a mountaintop has a strange way of generating dislike. When dynasties emerge in sports, fan bases often cry foul, questioning the legitimacy of success. The more competent and victorious the organization becomes, the more emotionally invested outsiders hope for its failure. We are witnessing that now with the Thunder. They are young, composed, and incredibly well managed. Instead of praising the blueprint, fans react with disdain, blah, blah, blah. So defectors, Samir Khalaf would write, Sam Presti drafted far fewer malcontents than the IDF. But also, this cycle is not novel to the Thunder or any sports dynasty. Your team winning means that other teams are losing, and those fans are going to hate you for it. What? Are you going to go around asking if they believe that OKC have a right to exist? Oh my God, bars. He'd also write, before going any further, I can tell you right now, nowhere in this column are the Sonics, Howard Schultz, or Clay Bennett mentioned. That is a big one. Check it out on demand. I have talked about this. Apparently, the Thunder just popped into existence one day. A franchise without fans. Fans, excuse me. Here's more from Eitan. Israel experiences a similar phenomenon on a far more consequential stage. Of course, criticism of governments and their policies is fair game. Okay? Good. Thank you for giving us that pass, by the way. I didn't know if we had it. But the hyperfixation on Israel often transcends normal criticism into deeper and darker discomfort with Jewish strength, sovereignty, and achievements. When Israel thrives across a spectrum of global stages like Eurovision, many observers convert healthy criticism into rabid animosity. No. From Khalaf, a far more consequential stage reads as an effort to inject some much-needed perspective. 7 paragraphs into this bewildering argument, but it's far too late. The country committing a genocide and the NBA title favorites are not that alike, even if Lou Dort and the Israeli military both love to use dirty tactics, then pretend to be victims. Because besides, everyone knows Israel's team is the Patriots. Because of Robert Kraft, of course. We are comfortable with underdogs, Eitan continues. What unsettles us is when underdogs stop behaving like victims and consistently triumph. The world loves stories of perseverance until it produces an uncompromising might. Then admiration mutates into skepticism and distrust. The Thunder are not hated because they somehow game the system. They are hated because they mastered it. No. Israel is not obsessively scrutinized because it failed, but due to its success, despite deeply rooted envy and darker historical motives. All right, I think I'm done. The Oklahoman, as I stated, removed this article. They barely said anything. Editor's note, on May 18th, we mistakenly published a guest opinion piece that did not meet our opinion standards. The op-ed has been removed, and we deeply regret any distress that may have caused. What is this journalism in 2026 where we get the, how many sentences is that? 2-sentence explanation of why they removed an article that was dumb as shit. Oh, God. You know, I expect this from, like, the New York Post. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he were to do this and pitch it to Murdoch, win. With this, no. Khalaf once more. There's a lot of fixation here on creation, success, and resilience without any acknowledgement that this NBA team was displaced from one city without any input from the people who live there and relocated to another, resulting in rewritten history at the institutional level. You know what? Maybe Eitan's onto something here. Again, I've read some bad pieces and I've seen some bad op-eds. This one takes the cake. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.